Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
Can you find me a better barn in the NHL to play in the playoffs?
No.
We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
The closest is Detroit.
I listen.
Detroit.
We'll be waiting
with the squid.
We're not even. This is how we're starting this episode, folks.
Yes, sir.
Can you find me a better barn in the NHL when it comes to hockey? When it comes to playoffs, can you find me a barn that brings that intensity, that energy, that feeling of being alive as a hockey fan? We, the Curfew Boys, are waiting. I am Sammy. He's Joey. He's Zook. Hey now.
Literally,
I felt
the
the atmosphere
floor was
all the
rumbling.
way here.
Yeah,
I felt it all the way
feel
here.
You felt the aftershock, eh?
Yeah.
That was, we're going to get it. That I don't even know where to begin with. That was actually due. But listen, a brand new episode of the Curfew Boys, matinee episode. Yes, we couldn't really go live after the game last night, but it is Saturday, April 26th on a quite cloudy Montreal day. Joey, I don't know how it's like in your neck of the woods.
Today. 20 degrees, light breeze. Yeah, it was perfect weather today. No cloud, not a cloud in the sky.
Awesome.
That was like our day yesterday.
We had a beautiful day in Montreal yesterday on Friday. But thank you and welcome to a brand new episode of the Curfew Boys. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see in here. It's that time of the year. It's Montreal Canadiens playoffs. So please join us. Come take part of our Montreal Canadiens community. Click like and subscribe. Absolutely free. You can listen to all of our episodes on audio platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and follow the Curfew Boys on social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and what else am I forgetting? Facebook, I guess. Yes, last but not least, Twitter, where all the shenanigans goes down, also known as X. This episode of the Curfew Boys is brought to you by Habs Cave. Sunil was there with our boy Anthony at the Bell Center last night, and I'm sure he provided all the content you needed in regards to that amazing playoff game at the Bell Center. Give Sunil a follow on Instagram, Habs Cave on Instagram, the best man cave a Habs fan could ever dream of. Give him a shout. Our boy Sunil, he's so awesome too. Les Délices Lafrenière, also best pastries you could find in Montreal and the surrounding areas. They got 6 locations, so visit lesdeliceslafrenière.com for more details. They are simply delicious. And by my boy Mike's Barbecue Rub. He makes his own barbecue spices and barbecue rub spices too for vegetables, fish, meat. Makes them at home. They're Canada made. He uses those same spices to create his own brand of chips. They are simply amazing as well. Give my boy Mike a follow on Mike's Barbecue Rub Instagram account. You can follow him. You could also visit mikesbarbecuerub.com. Don't forget, folks, to rub your meat.
I'm sure a lot of Montreal fans were rubbing their meat last night.
Well, I you know what?
They were hungry.
Was not one. We were hungry for meat. Anyways, hold on a second. Let me take a sip of this coffee here. Before I say some shit that gets us in trouble. Man, oh man, like this was probably the most anticipated home game I think the city of Montreal and Montreal Canadiens fans have been waiting for, because yes, we had a fantastic run in 2021, but because of those COVID restrictions, the Bell Center was never full. It was never a full barn. The last time the Montreal Canadiens had a playoff series in a full Bell Center was during the 2017 Stanley Cup Playoffs, the first round against the New York Rangers. And the last time they won a game, a full Bell Center during the playoffs, was actually on Friday, April 14th, against, once again, the New York Rangers. 4-3 overtime win. In that game, I think you had Thomas Plekanec and Alexander Radulov, who really blew the roof off. Plekanec scores a game-tying goal with a couple of seconds remaining in the game. And then Alex Radulov scores the overtime winner, and he sends the Bell Center into a frenzy. So last night's game was important. for multiple reasons. I really think it was important to give the fans what they wanted. First and foremost, like I said, it's been, like Joey said, 8 years. My math isn't great, but yeah, since 2017. It also goes to show where this young team can be physically, mentally in their game in front of a crowd like that. This is not just a regular season game. This is a playoff game. The stakes are higher. The pressure is higher too. And this is a young team, young and inexperienced. So how are they able to handle that pressure? And 3, you get a win against the Washington Capitals. You regain momentum back in the series. You give them you. I said game 1 they planted a seed of doubt a little bit. Game 2, the Canadiens still held in there, but it wasn't a perfect game either. This was a statement game, folks. Game 3 at the Bell Center was such an important win right now. And there's many things that happened during the game that I think can be the turning point if the Canadiens keep that momentum going. The last night's win was a statement win. 2-1 series now Washington has over us. It's not over. It's far from over. They need to win this game. Chris kind of said last episode, it's pretty much do or die. You want to grab the first win at home, and you want to make a series of it. You don't want to go Sunday's game at the Bell Center down 3-0. Boy, did the boys perform. They came tonight, and we're going to dig right into it, boys. So let's hear it.
There's something happening this year with the Montreal Canadiens, I find. Even at the beginning of the year, before the season started, the whole organization was saying what? In the mix. Even the media caught on to that, in the mix, right? Now, what did Marty and the staff say before tonight's game or last night's game? Momentum. So it seems to be like they're cementing this idea in their brains of the players, right? So that it's in their mind to create momentum or play or do plays that could sway momentum their way, just like how they were in the mix, right? So it seems to be, there's something, the tides are turning. It feels like the tides are turning, that's for sure, with this team, right? And even at the beginning of the series, like you said, Sam, it's not as if the Canadiens were blown out of the gates.
Nope.
They were always within arm's length of either tying the game or winning the game, and missed opportunities due to the fact that they're young, and also they didn't have puck luck, if you will, which seems to have changed last game. They were controlling the play. If you think about it, the Caps, I think within the first 2 periods we're at like less than 20 shots.
This is the most
less than 20 shots.
I don't recall the last time the Canadiens bombarded a team with shots. 15 shots in the first period.
There you go. But if you look at the goals of the Caps, they were just a couple or one of the few defensive breakdowns.
Yeah.
That's all it was. They didn't have anything else. Ovi wasn't anywhere the whole game. Yes, he scored a goal and whatnot, but apart from that, they were pretty much defending very well the whole game, which even when Monty went out, Dobis had I think 2-3 shots.
Were you guys worried when Monty switched?
No. Honestly, I don't think it was a big injury. I don't think it was a big injury. I think it was more of a precautionary thing. We might see Monty back this series, I think. Can't say the same with Thompson. He looked like he's finished.
My God, yeah.
But
that's crazy. How the heck did the 2 starting goalies go down in the same game?
Hey, listen,
during
man,
the playoffs.
It's hockey, dude. It's hockey.
It's 1,000%.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, Joey, before we hear your thoughts, so when Monty switched, I saw Dobes go in. I'm like, okay. I'm like, eesh. Oh, not that I didn't have faith in Dobes, but him too. Rookie goalie in the playoffs right now, and there's the last couple of games of Dobes. Like some games he looked pretty good. Some games it was like a little too aggressive, a little bit sloppy, sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
The first few times he got challenged with shots, and you saw him being in the pocket, not too aggressive, but really focused, calm. When I saw that, I was like, they got this. Right then and there, I'm like, they got this. Dobes got this. They're gonna win this game. Go, Joey.
Yeah, they had everything else going for them. The question mark was Dobes up to the task when that switch had to happen. But Dobes, he always instilled confidence. I think a part of him sliding and being too aggressive is more just him being a rookie, but the confidence is certainly I think it's certainly there. Like he definitely is a confident goalie in my opinion. But the game itself, I think Adri said it in
Yeah,
our
he is
chat.
1,000%.
Yeah, Adri said it about the statement win. It was I said it last episode about it being Montreal had to be proactive rather than reactive, and they certainly delivered. And they didn't just hang on for a win where they were getting outplayed, outshot. Like, in the first two games, I think Washington slightly played better. No, Montreal came out period one, period two, and period three, and really came out with a statement win. That's a lot different than winning a game where you're just hanging on, you're getting
Mhm.
all the puck luck. It wasn't the case this game. Montreal came, played hard, had the whole Bell Center behind them, and really showed the Capitals like we're not going to go away that easy. So they really, really delivered on that front. And all the young guys, a lot of them step up. Slapkowski, Caulfield, Lane Hudson, Demidov had some flashes, and of course
Mhm.
Suzuki. I mean, he's just growing to another level that is actually incredible to see.
Oh yeah.
1,000%, Joe. Everything you said, spot on, and Adri did get that spot on as well. Statement game. Yeah, the your best players are your best players. Absolutely, that top line, Lane Hudson, like just the way he was able to just
Oh, his reads.
stick lift Ovi, get the puck along the
Fuck.
boards, and find that Caulfield open
He-
along the back
Amazing.
door. And
Old man there.
oh no,
He looked like, oh fuck.
and this is it's just the beginning. That's the scary part.
Yeah, dude.
It's just the beginning. I was so happy for Slav because I really wanted a Slav goal at the Bell Center. Kind of make a bit.
And he got robbed at the beginning.
He did, yeah, he did. No, that first line, like again, it's kind of. I don't want to say the stars are aligned or something, but like I feel like it's so fitting that the Canadiens make the playoffs when Slav is finally starting to be or show signs of physical maturity,
Oh man.
and especially for these playoffs where you have to be physical, and a kid his size and slowly is going to build that strength. Like I find it so fitting that it's happening for him right now, and him too. If he puts in the work in the off season and for all those years to come, him too, he's going to be a beast, even more than what
Yeah.
we're seeing now. So I was so happy for him when he got that goal. Suzuki and Caulfield are leading this team. They kind of look a little bit more like the 2021 Suzuki Caulfield, but still young, but still showing signs that, my God,
Better.
they can.
I
No,
think
right
even
now,
better.
Joe, let me finish. They're better,
Sorry.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I wasn't done. They're showing signs. They're picking up from where they left off in 2021, but they're a lot better now. 1,000%, dude. So at those two goals by Carrier and Cole at the end of those periods are massive.
Yeah. I wanted
That's
to say
a
something
massive-
about Carrier, dude.
Game changer.
He's finally getting compensated, man. He's finally getting because he's a type of player where he puts in the effort. Like
Oh, 1,000%, yeah.
he's always been that type of player. Even if if the results never went his way or didn't show, I think we owe a lot of the Canadians' resurgence this year due to when he came in to the team. He really stabilized the back end.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah, he stabilized the
1,000%.
back end, and from there on, we saw players being able to play their own game, and now we're basically reaping the fruits of that, right? So I'm glad that goal that he scored at the end of the period, those types of goals are momentum boosters, dude. It's like you saw the whole fucking city lift, you know?
And how many times have other teams scored those types of goals
All the time
against us?
this year, dude. All the time, man.
So when we
Especially the ones at the end of
when
the
we get
period.
those, yeah, absolutely. When we get those goals, like I think we know that feeling of like how important they are, 1,000%. So, who else did I want to talk about before getting to a specific topic or a specific player? But now that I can't think of it, we'll get into something I really, really want to dissect a little bit here. So, I think after game one and even after game two, we saw the cross checks. We saw the physicality that Washington was imposing on the Canadiens, and the Canadiens never backed down. They kept fighting. They kept fighting. They kept clawing their way back in. But after those games, I think fans and media have been yelling off the top of their lungs to put in Arber Xhekaj. So Friday starts. Friday starts where a couple of trusted sources on Twitter or X post, looks like Arber Xhekaj is going in for Jaden Struble. Patrick Liney's not practicing. Maintenance day. Oliver Kaplan's going in for Patrick Liney. But then a couple of those tweets were retracted or deleted. But we sort of, the Curfew Boys, we kind of like jumped the gun on that a little bit. We posted about it. And then Marty comes on and says, yeah, it's not confirmed yet. I might play. He didn't say these words exactly, but sort of hinted, yeah, I might play Xhekaj tonight. Nothing official. Whoever skates during the warm-up, it's going to be game time decision. But Patrick Liney's not practicing. Therapy day, whatever. So, and when it comes to Arber Xhekaj, like my cousin Chris said this, he's an insurance policy. We all know that. We all know what he provides in terms of protection of the players. I think some fans were hoping that by putting him in, this team might get better defensively. I wasn't 100% certain about that. I still think he had a very good game. He played a simple game, played 10 minutes, which is what I was expecting. But I kind of question, and yes, I'm a diehard Arber Xhekaj fan, and I love not just what he brings physically, but I love I love his fighting side of the game. I do. That's one of my favorites, even though it's not the same across the board when it comes to hockey, but that's just me. But I still wondered, like, what kind of, not protection, but what is he really going to bring to this team if he's in the lineup? And holy shit, well, my question was answered like instantly. Yeah. During the warm-up, you saw him not yelling, but like telling Tom Wilson, like challenging him.
Not only that, Sammy, did you see him do his stretches? He was looking at their face while he was doing the stretches at the blue line.
A lot of players do that. Dude, yes, yeah, and a thousand.
All about destabilizing their minds, dude.
So, and Zook, I really think that happened.
100%.
Like it in a sense, like he wasn't so much of a difference maker on the ice per se, like physically, but I think now it's the question or the debate is over. It's answered now. Him in the lineup, and we always knew this. I think now that it's playoffs, let's see if that could continue or if that brings a whole other level of this sort of insurance. Dude, he made this team a couple of inches taller. He made this team a couple pounds heavier. Like, does Josh Anderson fight Tom Wilson on the players' bench if Arber Xhekaj is in the lineup?
No.
Or if Arber Xhekaj is not in the lineup.
Did you see Demidov too? He was throwing his body in the first period too. Like, dude, that was never going to happen.
Did you see Demidov kind of like slew foot?
Yeah, man.
Wilson?
That's what you were saying. Arber's presence made the team feel heavier, and it's exactly spot on, dude.
I think he brings a physical, not only a physical presence for himself, but a physical influence for everybody else.
Yeah,
I think so too, and it's just so funny because we're there like, Josh Anderson brings it, but he can't be alone. He was the only one that was doing it, and I think you bring Arber into the lineup now, and it's no disrespect to Jaden Struble. I love the kid too, but I think there's no way Marty can change this lineup on defense. At least there's absolutely no freaking way at this point. And what I actually liked about Marty's press conference after the game, he said, he's like, I trust Xhekaj. He's like, I actually trust him. I trust his game. I really do. He goes, and I think this was the first time he kind of opened up. He goes, but when the time that I made the switch for him and Struble, we won 6 games in a row. And like, yeah, we lost a couple more after, but like we were still playing the same way, more or less. We didn't play terribly. It's like it was tough for me to switch the lineup. And finally, like I've said it. I knew it from the beginning. Everyone, the narrator was like, "Oh, he doesn't like Jack." Blah 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 blah. I'm doing that Tom Wilson crybaby face right now, but it wasn't the case. Marty was stuck between a rock and a hard place. His team was winning based on the changes that he made. How can you make another change and still think that like they probably could have won? Yeah, maybe. I'm not saying they would have lost if they put Xhekaj in the lineup during that 6-game winning streak, but you can't really make a change to something that's working right now. Like, yeah, they lost against Ottawa, they lost against Toronto, and then they lost in overtime to Chicago, and like people started panicking. But like the Canadiens, they didn't look that it wasn't, they weren't perfect. Obviously, they lost, but like they didn't look like they got outplayed or they need Xhekaj in the lineup or else, oh my God, it's over. Like Marty couldn't make that change. If he does, you send a message that's like we're in panic mode now because we're not clinching when we're supposed to. So I called it. I called it. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. But now Xhekaj's in. We saw the results on the ice. You can't take him out.
No, I agree. Can't
I
take him out.
So
The only question
especially
is
now.
the forward.
okay, so I think Patrick Liney's injured.
Okay, so
I
on that,
agree.
Sam, I don't know if you saw it. There was a Instagram video that was posted on the Montreal Canadiens Instagram page where they're in the locker room clapping. Josh Anderson was talking. You see Liney sitting next to Josh Anderson. And he's clapping his hands, and you see the way he's clapping. He can't move his wrist. He was like very, very soft on the way he was moving his wrist. So maybe he has a wrist injury. That's what I think.
Dude,
so I don't think he's coming in anytime soon, dude.
I think his knee is busted.
No, it's upper body injury. It's what it says. It's not his
You
knee.
think?
That's what they were. That's what they were saying. Yeah, it's not a lower body injury. So it makes sense if you see the clip of him clapping. He's barely moving his hand.
I know which video you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it now. I thought he was just like slow clapping, but you see a smile on his face, like like this narrative that like, oh, he doesn't care and all that. It's bullshit. Like, stop it, people. Like,
the Canadiens leadership team, dude, the coaching staff, they like to include all the players. If you notice, even Doc is there and stuff, dude. It's like,
man, I'm so happy you mentioned Doc, dude.
Yeah,
just one player that I really wish was in the lineup just to experience this. It's Kirby Doc, man.
100%.
Like, I feel
even for his learning curve. Like,
exactly. So it's and I know not a lot of people are too high on him and whatever, and I don't care. Like, I'm gonna say this: like, I actually wish he was playing, just so he could experience this with the guys. And it's like, listen, we'll get into the Kirby Doc discussion at the end of the season, in off season and so forth. But man, I wish he was experiencing this with the boys. So.
Me too.
But no, it's interesting. So I'll say this: like, there's a colleague of mine that might know. Take it for what it's worth. It might be true, it might not be true. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will. But apparently, Patrick Liney's knee is freaking swollen.
Oh,
apparently, whether it's true or not, I don't know. It's just something I heard the other night. It might be rumors, but when you think about it, to me it kind of makes sense, just given how he was been skating, at least game 2, and for him to be benched the whole third period, like everybody's like Marty shortened the bench, which was good. I think he had to, but I'm not so certain that like Liney was benched because he just wasn't playing well. I really think
right.
I don't know. I
don't think he was playing terrible. Like, he's had chances.
Yeah, but like but you could tell like he's not aggressive. He's slow. Something's not right with him. I refuse to believe that Patrick Liney is 100% healthy right now.
I
So
don't think
these
he was 100 the whole
rumors
year.
did they? I don't think so either. But these rumors are, do they say when he might have injured that knee or got it swollen?
Well, I'm trying to recall the play, but in the second period of game 2, you could see Liney kind of like gets a bit of like a hit on his leg, and you see his knee. Not. I don't think it moves awkwardly, but like he gets a bit of like a good bump on it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's that play, or I don't know if it's been like accumulative for a couple of games now.
Mm.
Again,
So what do
there's
you do?
just
You bench
something.
him?
Well, Jesus Christ! I mean, yeah, do you change? Do you change the entire lineup like last night? Do you take Oliver Kapanen in, and do you insert Line back in? I mean, I'm not saying
I
Oliver Kapanen was a difference maker, but
exactly. You
you,
hit the
you,
nail on the head.
you know what I mean. He
I don't think Sam he was a difference maker. I think the Bell Center made the difference. I thought if Liney was there instead of Kapanen, they still win the game. That's why I don't think it makes a difference.
yeah,
It wouldn't have
I
made a
like that.
difference for one player.
I like that, Joey. And look, Oliver Kapanen played the least amongst the forward. He was the only one under 10 minutes. He played 8 minutes and 6 seconds. Like
Exactly.
Ivan Demidov had 15 minutes 37 seconds, mind you. He was on the first power play.
Yeah.
The only other player after that played the least was Emil Heineman, 10 and a half minutes exactly. And then Josh Anderson, just because of that fight, he played 11 minutes and 46 seconds. So so you know what I mean? So you know what, Joe, now that I think about it, I still think it's for me. I know the power play hasn't been working lately, but still, with all those goals that Liney provided us on the power play, and with that lethal shot, it's still difficult for me to see him being a healthy scratch.
Um,
Yeah, because we don't have that
Power
shot.
plays are a
No.
premium. Power plays are a premium in playoff hockey. So when you have it,
Yeah.
you need to take advantage. So to have Line there and to have him play Kapanen type minutes, I'm totally. I don't know if he's okay with it, but me watching it, I would totally be okay with reducing his minutes, but keeping the power play minutes. But saying that, did you guys like Demidov?
Oh,
I'm not
a
switching it.
1,000%.
We can go back to it, but did you guys like Demidov on that first power play? Or did you find the rhythm wasn't there as
I
much
did.
as when Line was there?
Oh, I liked it. I thought I think we can kind of get a glimpse that both him and Lane Hudson can quarterback that power play. I think
Listen, he's still learning, eh? He's still.
I really felt like it wasn't only on Lane Hudson to set everybody up. I really
Yeah.
think like
Agreed.
there's kind of like two of them now. So I liked it, and let's tie this in. If Line comes back, why not try him on the second power play instead?
Someone's got to feed Line,
Would
and I don't know if we have the players to feed him on the second power play.
this is gonna ruffle some feathers here, but you don't trust Mike Matheson on the second power play to feed Patrick Laine?
Not as much as
N-
Hudson
I,
Suzuki. I can't.
Not as much. It's less of
okay,
a natural
It,
instinct for Matheson.
if Line were to be a guy where he makes his own shot kind of thing and he really can handle it being the guy to control the power play, but he scores, sure, but he's not a controller on a power play. He's like, give me the puck, I'm shooting it. And you
yeah,
need somebody to control it for him, and to me Matheson isn't the guy to do it.
okay. Here, let me ask this question. It's a hypothetical scenario because one thing the Canadians don't have is a shot at the point on the power play. There's no Shea Weber anymore. Mike Matheson has a decent shot, but it gets blocked a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's he's not someone to utilize that as much. Lane Hudson, unfortunately, the kid doesn't have a shot for now. He might work. I have a feeling he's going to work on that in the offseason. He's going to beef up a little bit, add a bit more muscle, blah, 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 blah. And we know Patrick Laine's spot is on that left circle. Like, he's sniped it so many times there. Hypothetical question. Why not put Patrick Laine at the point and see if he can utilize that slap shot at the point?
I'd have
Because he
anxiety.
doesn't have the legs. He doesn't have the legs that keep
legs.
movement. Yeah.
Sam, it's gonna make me anxious.
You need to be.
He loses that puck.
like
He can't move his legs.
Yeah.
It's over.
And then
the
there's a
breakaway the
rush.
other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not catching
Very
up.
good answer. No, very good answer. It was just a wonder. It's like, I don't want him there either.
I don't think Marty's going to do that. Yeah.
The shot
No.
sure it is there on the blue line, but everything else is not. So if that puck is turned over, it's not controlled properly. He ain't catching up to those players. So
no.
There's no way. No.
There's no way, indeed. No, for sure. It's something I thought of, but yeah, there's also, I thought, like let's say he shoots and the puck gets blocked and it's turned over. Like, forget it.
back to your point that we don't have a person that's able to have that shot at the blue line. What do you think of Logan Mailloux for the future? Does he have that?
I think so.
Viewings of his highlight reels, he has a shot, right?
Yes.
So maybe he's going to be the guy. And how's Reinbacher? What's his stance at the blue line? I haven't really looked recently.
He could shoot.
He could shoot too, but then he has a wrist shot, right? He doesn't have a slapper.
No. He's got a clapper.
He does.
He scored one of his goals in Laval this season was shot like literally in between the left circle where Laine shoots and the blue line. Like, he was kind of like at the end of the circle. He wired one from there, man. Like, the kid could shoot too.
I know Mailloux has a slapper. Like, he's a big body too. So
I personally see Mailloux and whoever the other defenseman's going to be on a second power play wave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next year.
They're going to keep with Hudson at the point and control it that way. They're not going to change that.
Well, I think Hudson is going to be that only defenseman on the first power play with 4 forwards, but I think the second one, if they could put a team, if they continue putting a team together where, like let's say if Mike Matheson sticks around and Logan Mailloux's on the team, or if it's another defenseman, be it Caden Gooley or maybe somebody else they acquire, sign, trade, whatever. But I could see two defensemen being on the second power play, and I see Logan Mailloux being one of them.
Oh yeah.
So he can use that shot. I really, really do. But that's further down the line. So did you guys see members of the Laval Rocket were at the game as well?
Of course.
Yeah.
So there's a nice picture. There's and it's mostly, except for 2 players, it's mostly all players that were drafted by the Canadiens. You had Reinbacher, you had Riley Kidney, you had Sean Farrell, you had Philip Machar, you had Lucas Condotta too, the captain. But then you had Florian, you had Luke Tuck, you had look who's back from the dead. Who was at the game himself. Auntie, don't say anything because I'm finishing my point here. So you had when Jared Davidson was there, Owen Beck was there. I think I mentioned David Reinbacher. And if you looked at all of them, like, David Reinbacher is probably the biggest one out of all of them.
Wow, that's surprising.
Mailloux didn't come, right?
I didn't see Mailloux in the picture. I didn't see Primo in the picture. I didn't see Fowler in the picture.
People forget he is a big boy, eh?
Who? Reinbacher?
Reinbacher, yeah. He's forgetting. Fuck it.
He's a big kid. So my point in all this is that, like, it's great that they're all kids, that they were there to watch the game, so they get a feel for what it's like playoffs in the Bell Center. They know what's coming for them at Place Bell, even though it's at a smaller scale. And then hopefully, especially a kid like Reinbacher, Florian, Owen Beck, like a good part of them, hopefully it motivates them to be like, wow, I want to be here one day for this team, so I need to give it my all. And yeah, dude, like this is going to motivate them to play even harder in their playoffs. They're waiting to see who their opponent's going to be between I think the Toronto Marlies and I think it's the Cleveland. I'm not sure if it's the Cleveland Monsters, but anyways, the winner of that. So the Laval Rockets is going to play in round 2, but they got to see the environment at the Bell Center, what it's like and how crazy it is. But then we also had Anthony, who was there.
So yeah, perfect timing to jump on this episode. I won't stay long. I only have like 5 minutes, but I just wanted to share with you guys and to all our fans out there that just the fans alone could win us the Stanley Cup. I'm being serious. Like, I know it's far fetched saying that, but just to say, yesterday I've never seen a building so loud from beginning to end. Even when Washington scored those goals, when Washington would score, we would just get louder. We would never kill momentum. So usually in a game, you're down 1-0, the other team scores, or even if you have the lead and then Washington tied twice.
Yeah, quiets the room.
In every other game scenario, that kills the momentum of the crowd, the players, just the whole game itself. They did not stop. They did not stop. It was so loud. It was intense. It was crazy. Playoffs in Montreal is just next level craziness, man. And what an experience it was. And I just really hope we can continue this run because, again, like I said before, the fans alone could win us the cup. I'm being serious. Like, that's how crazy it was in that room.
Imagine in 2021 had we had a full Bell Center. You don't think we would have won an extra game or two?
100%.
I think so. I think
so too.
Mind you,
with Price, dude, come on.
Well, I think we could have won it in 2021 if we had if we had what I felt yesterday in 2021. And you're playing that year. They were playing for Price. They were playing for Weber.
They had all kinds of players.
They had that goal in mind, not the cup. It was just to win for them. So with the fans helping them, motivate them, guys. Like I said yesterday, we played a very good game. Everybody stepped up. I don't know if you guys spoke about that today, but everybody stepped up. But again, we have the talent. We do. Yeah. The momentum of the crowd just gave them that extra. Like Chris said it, or you said it, Sam, last time. It's the seventh player on the ice. The fans.
Yeah, Chris said it. Chris sent a nice message to our followers and viewers and all that. Basically, to Habs fans in general. Like, that building needed to be hostile territory for Washington, which by the sounds of it and by the looks of it, it was. Yeah. Be the seventh player. Bring momentum. Bring the noise. Bring the energy.
Bring everything. And they did.
They did. By the sounds of it, they did.
Boys, I got to jump. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
In Washington. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks.
Keep that momentum going, and we could do it. All right, boys. Bye, guys.
Go on. Have a good one. 1,000%.
On Anthony's.
That's what it has to do.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. To comment on what Anthony's saying, I think with the Bell Center, Montreal can certainly win 3 games there. The thing is, they need to pull one out in Washington. Unfortunately, that's what it's going to take. Those young guys need to step up at least one game in Washington and win. Of course, tomorrow, or the next day is more important, like one game at a time, but that needs to happen for sure.
One game at a time.
Oh, no, 1,000%. And if they do, if they win game 4 or the second game at home, the Canadiens, like, I think not just fans, but I think the team themselves are going to believe that they can believe even more that they could win this series. And if they're going to have to, Joy, because let's say for the sake of this discussion, the Canadiens tie it up Sunday night. It's still home ice advantage to Washington. And by the looks of it, like almost every other game in these playoffs, except for Ottawa, teams are winning at home. They're taking advantage of playing at home right now. Like New Jersey won at home. Who else won? Edmonton won at home. So it's absolutely crucial that they don't just win Sunday night's game, but absolutely right, Joey. They got to take game 5 in Washington. Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that one. So. No, it's nuts, man.
I think they can do
everybody's. I think they could.
Honestly, I think they can do it.
But here's the ultimate question now. We don't know yet what's going to happen with Sam Montembeault, but the way Logan Thompson got off the ice
doesn't look good.
That did not look good at all. Charlie Lindgren comes in, former Montreal Canadiens. Like, could this be the actual turning point of the series?
Anything
want
could
to say
happen, but of course.
yes. Yeah, I want to say yes, but the one thing that comes to the back of my mind, ex-Montreal goalie. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
ex-Montreal goalies and Quebecois goalies for me are a crux to the Canadians. So I don't know. That's the
Well,
only
thank
thing that
God.
worries me.
Thank God.
Look,
Thank God Charlie Lindgren's not Quebecois.
no,
I know that
but
would have been, forget it. That would have been over.
Come
but
on.
they have to jump on those opportunities, those little, even if it's like it provides them with a 5% more chance of winning. Jump on it, dude. They need to test them a lot next game if Lindgren is playing, because Thompson, dude, it looked like the full weight of that player. What was his name? Duhane? Was it Duhane who fell on him?
No, I think it was
Or
Strome.
Oh,
I think it was-
Strome? There
yeah,
you
it was
go.
Strome.
Big guy Strome, right? So like all that weight on that knee,
Man.
that did not look good, dude.
Man, goalies, like that's the one thing when they're in the butterfly position, and dude, full like exactly a 200-pound
Dude.
plus hockey player skating full speed
Dude.
and crashes into you and crashes into your upper body, dude. Those legs are stinging. That's the one thing about goalies. They're so vulnerable that forget it. Like,
and that game, dude, the Canadians they knocked him, dude. He got a shot in the collarbone like a few plays before.
Yeah.
The Habs were shooting high on him right after that. They were trying to make him a little weaker, and then that hit happened, and then it's like,
they were doing that. But did you notice how they get a shot off? And Thompson, he's holding the puck. He's freezing the puck, waiting for a whistle. And do you notice how like players are still going after him, like kind of like crashing the net? Matheson did it.
That's all purpose.
And Anderson did it. Slavkovsky did it. Dude,
playoffs, baby.
No, but like that's getting in your fucking head. That's getting. They got to do the same thing. If Logan Thompson is not playing Sunday night, Charlie Lindgren is in.
I'd be surprised, dude.
Exact same thing. I'd
be surprised, dude.
I don't think
said we got to challenge him. We got to challenge him a lot.
That's it.
Charlie Lindgren.
1,000%. I don't think Washington's going to divulge any information regarding,
and even the Canadians.
They're
going to wait till 6:30 or 6 o'clock because the game's at 6:30.
The game is at 6:30 on Sunday.
They're going to wait till 6.
That's correct, dude. The picture of Josh Anderson. I
love that. Okay, guys, I wanted to say something about Josh. I've been loving his play like the last month, dude. He's been okay during his down period. I would say the last year or so. I felt bad because I truly think he's like a Hab. Like he is the definition of a Hab.
Yeah.
Like he grew up a Habs fan. His whole family living in Ontario were Hab fans. So like they were busted. Their chops are busted all their lives if you think about it. And he's a Hab now. He plays for the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm so happy to see that he's been embracing that role, and now he's being physical in the playoffs. He brings a lot to the Montreal Canadiens, especially when the playoffs has to be a physical game. If you notice the first 2 games of the series, when the Habs were out played physically, what happened? And now this game, we started being very physical. We were out hitting them the first 2 periods. I've never seen that since the beginning of the series. And look at the result. You know what I'm saying?
But also, too, like he was the only one.
He was the only one, too.
Josh Anderson was the only one. And look, just speaking of hits, 45 hits against 26.
Yeah.
45 hits, man. Wow.
They have to do it, dude.
That is, and their power 2 for 5 on the power play, which helps. And the Canadiens were perfect on the penalty kill. 53.7% on the faceoffs.
Evans was playing well last night too.
Dude, Jake Evans, I love Jake Evans. Yoel Armia protects the puck well, man, in the corners. You know what I mean? Like look, 7 Washington, 17 giveaways. You know what I mean? Yesterday's game was a perfect one for this team. And just to get on the Josh Anderson subject, it's so funny how last year we were like, okay, it's over with him and this team, blah, 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 blah. But I think a lot of us are like, yeah, but wait till if he's still around and they make playoffs, just wait.
Exactly.
Dude, him too, man. He's picking up where he left off from 2021.
Yep.
Absolute beast. Like, and look at what Caulfield says. Like he's him, man. Like You need a guy like him. But then he goes around saying our team is better, stronger when Xhekaj's in the lineup. Like, this is playoff hockey, and it's one of those things where I really hope Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon kind of address in the offseason. You know what I mean? Like you need veterans like Josh Anderson. You need veterans like Brendan Gallagher. Hey, man, Christian Dvorak, that line. They're doing what veterans are supposed to do. They're doing exactly what veterans are supposed to do. And it's the importance of that. It's great to have a young team. It's great to be sort of in a rebuild and see these potential pieces and what they can be in the long run. But until then, you need those veterans. It's extremely important.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we're going to talk about this in the off season, but now if you're a free agent and you're looking at the Montreal Canadiens and where they are in the rebuild, what they're doing, you want to sign for a team that has that's trending in the right direction. Don't you want to go to Montreal?
It's gonna depend the player. Look, I don't. Again, the narrative of they don't want to come here because of taxes and because of weather. It's bull crap.
Kent Hughes said what?
There are so many. Kent Hughes said there are so many loopholes around that.
Yeah.
So stop it with the taxes. Stop.
Players want to win.
Players want to win, but they want to. A lot of them they want to go somewhere where they can win sooner rather than later.
Correct.
No problem. They're at a point in their career where this is their window of opportunity, and they don't see it. They don't see it being open forever. That's fine. Could be a lot of players did want to come here, but financially we just can't make it happen because there's a salary cap. Maybe some players don't want to deal with pressure that way. Some players, some hockey players thrive on it. Some of them don't. It depends the player.
Some of them don't like the weather. I'll throw it in there. I will throw it in. I'm sure of it. I think there's been a few.
Sure, but there's been worse. There's worse. There's a couple of Canadian cities that have worse weather than we do.
Of course. But the whole thing, when Ken Hughes said about the loopholes with the taxes and that, like, that's the one narrative that certainly needs to stop.
It's done. I'm done with that. Like if anything, the player that gets quote unquote screwed over the most in taxes is the actual Quebecois that plays in Montreal. That lives, like, he's the only one. Everybody else, if you're Canadian, you're American, European, whatever, they find loopholes that you don't have to pay that much taxes. But be a law-abiding citizen and pay your fucking taxes, folks. So,
for real.
But no, Zook, players talk. Yep. Players see, players know. Players saw what the Four Nations does at a Bell Center Arena. Players are seeing now what just playoffs in general, NHL playoffs happen at a full Bell Center barn to a team or to a market that appreciates you when you win, but also appreciates you when you bring the effort.
Correct.
I don't think you just need to bring the effort. You don't need to score goals. You don't need to make crazy plays. Just bring your A game all the time. I really think that's what the Montreal fans and the Montreal media want. If you bring that effort every game, and even PK Subban said it, you leave it all on the ice, they're going to love you, and it's true. And that's what every single player did last night. They brought it on the ice. They left it on the ice. And now we're going to Game 4, Bell Center, Sunday evening at 6:30 instead of 7. But before we end, some of these other playoff series are pretty crazy too.
Yeah, besides Ottawa, Toronto being at 3-0, I think the other ones are they're really close. I mean, in terms of obviously the series, and like you said, Sam, the teams are winning at home. So New Jersey got a big win against Carolina. That was huge,
overtime.
Huge for them. Yeah. And Edmonton coming back on LA, or else LA would have been up 3-0. That's crazy.
And they had, but now they put in what's the name, Pickering in nets instead of Skinner. So
I don't know.
If we think it's bad here, I don't know either.
You know what?
I'm more surprised that Minnesota's winning.
Not Pickering.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pickard.
Pickard. Yeah, me too, Zook. I am a little surprised. I had Vegas winning that series,
Very
but
surprised.
with
Yeah.
Edmonton, I don't get it. Like Montreal, if there's one thing they have a knack on is finding like decent goalies on waivers or in a trade. And we're not saying Montembeau's the best, but he would certainly be the starter in Edmonton. I don't know why Edmonton cannot find a way to find a goalie. Doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe it's the weather.
Too top. I think they're too top heavy, and when you have almost I don't know how much, but like $9 million at thrown at what's his face on defense. Darnell Nurse. Well,
Nurse.
both
but
of them.
Sam,
Because he's getting a hefty salary.
But Sam,
Joey.
we got Montembeau on waivers. Like I'm saying, like how we acquired our goalie, they could easily do it, and they just cannot find a goalie.
Well, they don't
Not
have
saying
Kent
easily.
Hughes.
Yeah,
I get it, Zook, but I mean, come on, at some point you gotta find a goalie. Like this is ridiculous,
1,000%.
in my opinion. Like,
well, I
a
don't
broken
know.
clock is right twice a day. If they say like, fuck.
Depends.
Well, I don't know how McDavid and Draisaitl, if they haven't addressed that to their GMs yet. I don't know.
I'm sure they have, dude.
I'm sure they have.
Maybe. Do you think Toronto ends it tonight for Ottawa?
I don't think so.
Oh, you think Ottawa takes a game?
I think they're going to win one game, but I still think Toronto's going to win the series, unfortunately. But I think Ottawa's going to win a game, yeah. It'll be a close one, probably an overtime win or something like that. But
I just hope Ottawa gets swept.
Yeah.
I actually hope it gets swept. It's over.
Swept, yeah.
What?
I hope they get swept.
I wanted Ottawa to beat Toronto. I don't want Toronto winning any series.
I
don't want either.
But Toronto,
to win. Ottawa's
you
been a bit. Sam, Ottawa's been just annoying to deal with. I don't want any of them to win, but it's already 3-0. Just let them get swept and have Toronto lose the next round.
Just end it. Just end it. But the one bragging rights that we as Montreal Canadiens fans can say over the Ottawa Senators is that I think both teams have been sort of in a rebuilding phase for more or less the same amount of time. You could probably say that Ottawa is a year ahead of us.
I would say 2 years ahead of us.
More or less. I think I could agree with that. And yeah, okay, they're facing Toronto, but we're facing the best team in the East.
Right.
And look,
they're not ahead of us in any way. By my standards, we're ahead.
Not anymore. That's my point is that like they can't even get a playoff win yet. Maybe now we jinx it and they get one tonight, Saturday night against the Maple Leafs at home in Ottawa. But this is laughable. This is laughable. Like I think I hate the Leafs more than I hate the Sens. I really do. I hate both fan bases equally, but I think in terms of teams, I just hate the Leafs like so much because they have all those star players and star power. But anyways, but yeah, dude, I just I find it funny that Ottawa's going through this right now. But you never know. It's not over. Still, anything can happen. I'm very surprised that Florida has a 2-0 lead over Tampa Bay.
No,
and now they're going at home. I think they're playing this afternoon, Saturday afternoon. They're going at home in Florida. No, I'm
not surprised.
Well,
they have a better team than last year, I think. Florida.
I really thought
playoffs.
I thought Vasilevsky was really gonna step it up this series, and it looks like
he's getting older, eh?
Yeah, I get it. I really do, and even Colorado too. I thought they'd be ahead in this series, but man, that matchup. I'm calling it. It's winner of that series. I still believe is going to the Cup Finals. Winner of Dallas, Colorado, is going to the Cup Finals, and it's 2-1 Dallas. St. Louis had a big win at home as well. They had to get that win because or else Winnipeg looks like they were going to steamroll them. But no, these playoff matchups are amazing. Like Minnesota leading 2-1 over Vegas. I'm very very surprised. LA is on a mission. They want.
Dude, how good is Kaprizov?
Well, if
it's insane.
If watching Kaprizov gives us a glimpse of what Demidov could be,
Yeah.
then in your words, Zook, jizz.
Jesus, man.
In Zook's words,
Insanity.
there's only one team
Insanity,
down
dude.
3-0, and it isn't us.
And I'm so, man, the perfect way to end it, Joey. Like, just beyond proud of this team.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean. Like, this playoffs appearance is a bonus. It's going to be a learning experience that's going to go a long way. Man, it's fun. It's fun, man. It's fun seeing them win that way. It's fun seeing the Bell Center crowd rally together that way, bring that energy, and I cannot wait for Sunday's game, man. I really think, to end it off, to Chris's point, it's got to be another do or die mentality. And somebody, Azuk, I think you mentioned at one point, like, they have belief within each other. If you look at what all the players say, who's the common denominator of that belief? It's Marty.
Correct.
And you know what I mean, man? Like, I'm so happy that he made that change. He put Xhekaj in, and it kills me how some members of this fan base wanted his head just because, like, he brought them to the
You're
playoffs.
always gonna get that, dude.
Yeah,
You're
that's true. And I'm not gonna focus on them, but
no.
it's like, dude, it's
like,
if we think
I liked when Marty said before the playoffs started, or I think it was maybe after game one, or I don't know if it was before game one or after game one, but he says that he has a lot of cards that he could play.
And Xhekaj is one of them, and he's happy he has them.
And he's not the only one. But yes, Xhekaj is one. There's Demidov on, the first wave. There's things like that he could play around with the team. He trusts the team, dude. That's what the thing that matters. And something that us Habs fans are new to recently, because, like, I'll say within the last 15 years, it's like the coaches that we've had were from a totally different school of thought, and it was never like that. It was always more punitive. And even management, even GMs, it was always like that. And now it's really refreshing to see this new wave, this new generation, where the team is going. And, it's really, we're just at the beginning of it, which is fucking promising.
Well, that's the thing. And, like, he gets his first playoff win as a head coach in the NHL.
That's true.
Slavkovsky gets his first playoff point in the NHL. Jakub Dobeš gets his first win in the NHL during the playoffs. Like, it's all little...
Keep growing, boys.
It's little victories here and there. And real quick, Zook, I know we kept saying to end this off, we're saying the Italian goodbye here. But Anthony Marcotte, who is the commentator for the Laval Rocket, posted the video of Laine slow clapping for Josh Anderson sitting right next to him. And him too, he says in French, he goes, Patrick Laine is clearly injured to the hand, to the right hand.
Yeah.
So... Okay. Well, yeah, it's not looking good. It is what it is, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see Sunday if there's news about both Sam Montembeault and Logan Thompson. But that's all I have. That's all I have for you guys. I don't know if you have any last words, Joey. What is the Korean word of the day?
You called me this one because I had one last time. I didn't prepare. Oh, okay. You want a word or a sentence? Yeah,
whatever you want.
I'll just say a word. Joey ga 행복해요. Joey's happy because the Canadians won.
Joey ga 행복해요.
행복해요. Joey's happy.
So
kombucha.
Sammy 행복해요. So did I just say that Sammy's happy?
Yep.
Okay, and if I say so if I say Sammy no 행복해요, does that mean Sammy is not happy?
For some reason, it's making me hungry.
It's an. For not use an, so you'd say an 행복해요.
Sorry, I said mayo.
Nah, it sounds like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's safe to say that the city of Montreal and Habs fans are 행복해요 for today, and then Sunday is another.
That's funny.
And then Sunday's another game day. So Cool, boys. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time. A Saturday matinee episode. To all the folks that tuned in and listened, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. Go Habs, go. Click like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is absolutely free. And share this with Habs fans that you know all over the world. Please, let's build this Habs community and support the boys during the playoffs. Audio episodes available on platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow the Curfew Boys on social media like Instagram or X, Twitter or X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. A big thank you to our sponsors, Habs Cave, Les Délices Lafrenière, and Mike's Barbecue Rub. Give them a follow on Instagram as well. Joey, I know it's nighttime for you. It's your bedtime it's probably past your bedtime, but mind you, you're going into Sunday, so have a good night. I don't know if Joey's frozen, but it's okay. At the end of the episode,
I'm back.
Zook.
Back.
You're back. Okay, there you are. So, Joey, Zook, thanks so much, guys. Really, really appreciate this. Go Habs, go Sunday evening. I will not be working a night shift. I will watch the entire game. Finally.
Let's get it, boys.
Let's get it. Let's tie this series at 2. Let's fucking bring it to Tom Wilson's teeth and the rest of the Capitals.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen.
That just means thank you.
That means good night?
No, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Until then. Bye now.
Good night, Joey.
Good day.